Hey YouTube. Today I wanted to talk about something that is really relatable to a lot of Christians, a lot of Catholics, a lot of followers of Christ, like-minded people on this channel, or just target audience. But what do you guys do when God is silent? And to be honest, I don't have the answer to that question. I don't have the answers to a lot of questions, even though I do speak a lot on here. I just mainly speak from experience. And I can't answer that question because I have never experienced it, and it's never happened to me before. So, what do you do when God is silent? And when I say I never experienced it, I don't mean I've always heard Him immediately, but sometimes it takes a while for me to understand what He's doing, to see what He's doing, or to hear what He's saying. And I don't mean I hear God audibly. I don't mean I hear Him literally. I mean I hear Him in more profound ways, and I hear Him speak through His written word. I hear Him speak through gospel. I hear Him speak through the wisdom and guidance of other people, because God works through people in so many different ways. And most of all, I hear Him speak right here. Not the t-shirt, not the chest, but through my heart. And my grandpa would always tell us, or he would always ask us, "Where's Papa God?" And my cousins and I would always point here, because that's where he taught us. And that God is always in our hearts, and that's where He resides, and He'll never leave us. And when He speaks of love, He speaks of strength, wisdom, and courage, and sometimes even correction, right? And His voice is unmistakable. And you're probably wondering, Brandon, what is this voice? I don't hear a voice. Like, I don't hear voices either. But I'm not crazy, I swear, guys. I swear. But it's often a quiet, steady impression in your own mind, which is very distinguishable and different from your own thoughts, your own voice, and the noise of the world, right? God's voice often brings a sense of peace, sense of clarity, and even when He's telling you something difficult or corrective, right? Or when He's trying to correct you. And at times, it does seem like He's silent for me. It does seem like He goes silent. And when He refuses to shout down the voices of noise and distractions that I allow in my own head, I really have to stop I have to stop long enough in order to hear Him, right? I have to have a still mind in order to hear what He's trying to say. Sorry. Sometimes He's silent when He's spoken enough to me, right? And when it's time for me to actually move from listening to action. And that's when His voice is clearest and best, is when I'm not just listening to Him, but rather I'm living it out, if that makes sense. And He seems silent for two reasons. One is the noise, and second is the action. God is not going to compete with the distractions and mental clutter that I allow in my head, and I have to really reflect and sit still and clear my head from all that noise and be still, or have a still mind, in order to really hear Him. In action, He's spoken enough to me, and He's given me enough instruction, and I should stop waiting to listen for more and rather just do it, right? Just live out what He's telling me. In John chapter 10, verse 11 and 17, Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give them eternal life, and they will never perish, and no one will snatch them out of my hand." So basically, true faith is found in the movement from listening to following. And when God is silent, it's often an invitation from Him to us that we should trust the Good Shepherd and move forward with the guidance that He gave us, right? With what He's told us and instructions. And you're probably wondering, Brandon, what instructions? What is He saying? Like, are you crazy? I'm not hearing anything. Well, I don't hear anything either, but you recognize it the same way you would recognize a close friend's voice in a dark room, right? You don't need to see them to know exactly who is speaking, if that makes sense, right? If you know your homeboy, your homegirl, you don't need to see them in a dark room in order to know that it's them speaking. And same thing applies with God, but in this case, God carries a specific weight and warmth to His voice that only belongs to Him. And when you feel that, when you hear that, it's the internal presence of God making His heart known to yours. All right? And God works, like I said before, God works in so many different ways that we tend to not recognize or tend not to understand. And sometimes we still don't understand how He works. We don't understand how God works. It's through faith that we believe and we follow, right? Because that's what true faith is. We follow. And yeah, He works in so many different ways, and only then are we able to recognize and understand it through a still mind, right? We're not going to know. Sometimes we don't know right away that God has answered our prayers, that God has worked His magic at the moment. And usually it takes a time of self-reflection and just really looking back and having a still mind, a quiet mind, to better understand the blessings in our life that God has gave us. And for me, I catch myself like I don't see at the moment that God is working right now as we speak, through this person, through this action, through whatever just happened. And it's only then when I'm reflecting or when I'm in a quiet space that I'm like, oh, He really did work through me, or He really did work through that person. And yeah, you notice it. So it's never really happened to me where God has been silent, but let me know down in the comments, or you can shoot me an email. I know this has been a really long video. It's like 8 minutes long, 7, sorry. But yeah, shoot me a comment. What do you guys do when God is silent? And I just really want to know. I'm curious. I've always had that question for other people. My email is in my banner. Just click on my profile picture, and then on top of the banner is my email, BrandonRona with 3 A's at gmail.com. So yeah, shoot me an email or comment down below. But yeah, or you can text me on Instagram. I have my Instagram in there too. So yeah, thank you, YouTube. Bye, chat. Milo was sleeping. Wait. Oh, he's sleeping. But yeah, I gotta do homework now. Okay.